Ladies and gentlemen, here's Victor Allen to tell you about what's happening today.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special, I hate to say beta launch, but it's such a wonderful launch that I got to give a beta shout out to who we call the B-Next Entertainment Girl of the Month. Notice I said girl. It's Theresa Campbell. She's kicking off this wonderful, unbelievable show called Hollywood Live. I'm going to let her take it from here and tell us all about this wonderful launch you're about to embark on.
Oh, thank you so much, Victor. You know I love you. You got my heart 24/7. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Hollywood Live. This is a new platform. We are here to bring you the behind the camera and in front of the camera scenes that are going to help you get your career going in Hollywood. But not only that, we're going to bring you people who are inspiring, who are making things happen, writing books, making TV shows, producers, you name it. And if there's anyone you recommend for the show, go ahead, drop me a line. Don't worry, I will tell you how to get in contact with us in the middle of the show. But anyway, welcome to Hollywood Live. Can I get some woo woo? Yeah, thank you. And you heard them. We have a live audience. This is the best. You can throw the scripts away. You can throw the unscripted scripts away. We are coming to you live because we want to come to you where you're at, in your home, in your car, wherever you might be. This
you may
is
even
for
be
you.
in the bathroom.
And we have our funny girl here. I'm so excited. I'm not even going to talk a lot. I'm just your humble host and providing a platform. But I'm really excited to have my girl here today, Miss Sonja Warfield. Woo! Everybody give it up. Woo! All right. The bio is long. This is it. I'm going to give it to you in a nutshell. Sonja is a Hollywood writer, and she's written for Will and Grace, The Game. She's had production deals over at Sony Pictures Television, and she's also had projects over at Hulu and ABC Family. We love that she actually participated in the Will and Grace show, as it is an Emmy award-winning show. But nonetheless, I'm going to let Sonja actually come on and do a quick introduction, and then we're going to get into the show. This is going to be a fun, on-the-cuff program. Okay, we're going to.
How about off?
We're going to do Plead the Fifth, which you may have seen on another late night talk show. I won't mention the name. We're going to have audience ask some questions. It's going to be very interactive. During the show, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop your comments. If you're on live stream, drop your comments there and questions there for Sonja. If you're on Meerkat, you're probably tuning in on Pack Stereo. Go ahead and drop your comments there, your questions for Sonja, also on Meerkat. We're everywhere. If you're watching us on Periscope, I see you, Periscope. If you're on Periscope, you go ahead and drop a question there. We're going to come at you too. You will not be left out. All right? Everybody gets to play in this game. Everybody. So with that said, Sonja, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, say hi, do what you do. I'm so excited to have you here. Love your dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
Macy's.
welcome.
Everyone could have one.
Oh, we love Macy's, don't we?
You know what? Honestly, here's the thing. Let me just tell you what I think about Macy's. Is that sometimes I go in there and there's too much perfume going on and like it's kind of chaotic.
It's always about the perfume ladies. Try this, try this,
well,
try
it. They don't even ask. They spray you like in the face.
Right.
I practically have an anaphylactic like shock attack. And anyway, I digress. But so I'm Sonja Warfield, and I'm a writer, a screenwriter. But I've also written a wonderful little book. Mm-hmm. And
oh, that's my cue. Hold on.
Yeah. Available on Amazon.
Bam, bam, bam. Chee, chee, chee.
Amazon. You can just like press a button and a drone will bring it to you, probably during the show. So yeah, I've been writing since like 2003 professionally. I started on Will and Grace and was on a little other show called Jake in Progress. John Stamos starred in that show.
John Stamos.
I know, and so I used to watch him on General Hospital. He
Yes.
was Blackie on General Hospital, and was just like, I think I had his poster from Teen Beat
Didn't we
on
all?
my wall. And so then I'm working with him, and I mean that was kind of dreamy, and and so I've.
Did you ever touch his body? Tell us.
He touched me. No, John had a very funny sense of humor, and sometimes he would come into the writer's room in his robe. And he came into the writer's room in his robe one day, and this was when he was doing ER. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
He was okay. So I said, John, you were fantastic last night. And he said, oh, which one were you, baby? And I was like, no, John, I meant when I was watching you on ER on television. I wasn't, Anyway.
He's a hot bod, that's for sure.
Yeah, very, very talented. And and so then I've done, I've developed for other networks, for NBC. I've written a couple pilots for HBO and ABC. And I wrote a movie for Hilary Swank's company.
Yes.
It didn't get produced. That often happens. But you still get paid. The check clears. I just want everybody to understand that. Even if it doesn't get produced, the money goes into your bank account and you can go shopping at Macy's and get a dress like this and many others. So then I decided that I kept hearing a lot of stories from women that were very similar stories about men. And I write a lot of I don't do a lot of screenwriting about relationships. And so I kept hearing these very similar stories about overachieving women and underachieving guys. And it started to tick me off. And I said, you know what? I'm going to write something about this because enough is enough.
Yeah.
And so then I wrote a little book called Big Fat Negro, Get Your Lazy Ass
Off my couch.
Woo! And it's not just about black men, okay? Because I want to include all men. I don't discriminate.
Right.
All of them can be lazy.
This is the Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah, any man can be a lazy ass on the couch. And he might need a couch eviction, and this book will tell you how to get his ass off.
Yeah, here we go. My cue again.
Oh, yeah.
Bam, boom. There it is. Awesome. A couple of notes also about Sonja's background that I love. She is a professor. USC, right? Cinematic Arts. Love that.
Yeah.
Yay! Teaching the next generation.
I know. Is that scary?
Blasted millennials.
I kind of feel like, because one of the shows that I had my students studying this semester was Empire, and I thought, oh my gosh, your parents are paying $60,000 for you to study, to watch TV, to watch the show.
There you have it.
But you know what?
All things for coats.
I know,
all things.
Get on the, your ghetto fabulous language. And,
exactly. And then your dad is none other than Paul Warfield.
Yeah.
Right? NFL Hall of Famer, undefeated Miami Dolphins. It's
Yeah.
football days, so we have to give cheers for that as well.
If anybody was watching that Patriots-Dallas game, that was kind of, because Tom Brady got sacked like 6 times at the beginning of the game, but then they won.
Right.
Nobody cares. That's
No.
I the wrong audience.
I am a football fan.
You are. Could you watch it?
All right, so now it's time in the show for some important studio information. So we're going to hashtag, you can have a couple of choices, Big Fat Negro. You can hashtag that. You can hashtag Sonja Warfield.
It's Sonja.
S-O-N.
It's the German spelling, because I was named by a German doctor. My parents didn't name me.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew.
More tidbits.
Isn't that crazy?
Love
it. They didn't have a name. And so the doctor was like, she looks like a little Sonia. And there was this actress named Sonia Henney. She was an actress and an ice skater.
Right.
And so my parents said, how do you spell that? So I have, his name was Dr. Funk, too. Isn't that interesting? I'm not sure about that.
Oh, boy.
He was German.
That's another show.
But he was German. And so I think, like, the Germans, they tell you what to do and you do it. In a
And
way.
you don't even ask questions. You just do. So the second hashtag would be Hollywood Live. Hollywood Live, hashtag Hollywood Live. Thank you, my dear. And then on Twitter, you can find me at Boss Chick Theresa. You heard it right. I said it. Boss Chick CHIC Theresa. And then also shout out to the guys here at the studio, Pack Stereo. You can go to Pack Stereo, live stream. You can find them everywhere. Meerkat, Periscope. You're watching us right now on one of those platforms. So go ahead, give them a shout out. You can shout out to Mario. He's the big king of the castle. You can shout out to Victor. Thank you so much, guys, for the platform. Totally appreciate you. So we're going to get right into the show. We're going to play a nice little game called Plead the Fifth.
Alrighty.
You've heard it before. I will ask Sonja a few questions. She will either plead the fifth or she'll give us a nice, juicy answer. We'll get it right from her. And let's see how this goes. So
Okay.
I'm going to start with question number 1.
Yes.
Do you know anyone, Sonja?
Yes, I know that.
Now, I know this is an evening show, so please, if there are any children watching, go ahead and leave the room, plug your ears,
Well,
tell mom.
Here's the thing: a child would have to explain to you on the platform for which you would have to watch this.
That's
like
very
your child
true.
would have to set this up for you, essentially.
The child would have
You know?
to explain to the parents what's going on and then
Right.
say, oh, now I have to leave the room.
Yes.
So, Sonja, do you know of anyone maybe who's done a sex act for an entertainment job?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Who
you
hasn't?
made that too easy.
I have not.
Awesome.
No.
Okay.
I barely do sex acts for anybody.
And what is the craziest thing you've seen on a television set?
What is the craziest thing I've seen on a television set? That was not scripted, you mean?
Yes. You know, maybe John Stamos in the bathroom
Oh
after
my
the
goodness.
show.
Teresa. Gosh, you know what? I feel terrible that I don't have anything juicy and disgusting to tell you about that. But the craziest thing is very tame. So I apologize, audience, for not living a more racy, classless life.
Maybe.
Okay. We have an audience question here. Audience wants to ask a plead the fifth question. Come on up, my dear.
Come this
Follow-
way over here.
Yay! Give it up to her for woo!
Hey, Nancy.
Okay, it doesn't have to be. There's got to be something crazy. I mean, something. It could be an act or something. It doesn't have to be wild, but there's some tidbit you have. I'm sure.
I
Or
mean,
not.
You know what? I don't think so. I don't think there's
Okay,
anything.
awesome.
Moving
Moving
on.
right along.
Yeah.
Moving right along. So, next question. How do you feel about Pooch Hall's departure from the game?
So here's the thing. I was not devastated because he's not real. It's a television show. Things happen. Contracts don't work out. People get other jobs. Life goes on. But I understand and I empathize with the audience members who, definitely wanted him to be on the show and were devastated and hurt. But I think he went on to do some Ray Donovan, and I think he lives in Studio City because I see him often.
Yeah, awesome. So again, plead the fifth is the game here. What is your favorite BET show?
Can I plead the fifth on that?
Awesome.
I think I'm going to plead the fifth.
And what about your favorite Will and Grace episode?
So my favorite Will and Grace episode it's not an episode that I wrote, but it's an episode called Bed Bath & Beyond, and it is when Woody Harrelson's character and Grace break up, and she's like has a bed in, and she just got dumped. I think we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
And Joni Marchenko wrote that. I think that was my favorite episode.
Awesome. And let's see, any audience members want to participate in Plead the Fifth? Any Plead the Fifth questions? If you're an audience member, come on into the studio and ask a question. to Sonja. Anyone? You can go to the mic there.
Do you have a question? Kelly?
Come on, Kelly. Kelly's got a question
she
for
does have a
Plead the
question.
Fifth. Awesome.
Oh, to the mic over there.
This is Plead the Fifth, Kelly. So Plead the Fifth,
So
and
this is
Sonja
like-
can actually plead the fifth or
I don't
answer the
have
question.
to answer it.
You're gonna OJ me.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So I have a question. I read your book and I loved it. You can plead the fifth if you want to, but I would love to know if there is a story in there that you feel like saying happened to you. I know you got things from real life experience, but I just know some of those, like, truth is stranger than fiction, so I'm like, oh, that has got to be true, and maybe it happened to you or happened to a friend, but is there any story that you would like to share that is one that happened to you? You don't have to say if it was your husband or boyfriend or whoever, but I'd love to know if there was one that wasn't a friend that had actually happened to you.
Well, there are a bunch.
Great question, Kelly.
Yeah, so there are a bunch in the book that happened to me and that I do say happened to me. There are some in the book where I, kind of give fictional names to people, but they did happen to me. But I have a lawyer who has told me that has to remain fiction.
So that sounds like Plead the Fifth.
So Plead the Fifth, because guess what? I already paid, I don't want to get sued.
Right.
Basically is what I'm saying.
Good answer. Good answer. All right, so that was actually a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and open it for other audience questions.
Woo!
So let's keep the party rolling. We have another audience member. And state your name, please. And then
My
go ahead
name
and
is
ask
Kim,
your question.
and my question is, have you ever been stood up? And if so, what did you do? And did you track down the guy?
Oh boy, we love this story.
And you're not allowed to plead the fifth. We're in the next segment.
Exactly. Let me tell you something.
Fun is over.
I don't want to plead the fifth anymore, okay? I want to tell you the truth because I want all of you to learn from this experience. And I want this story to be a warning to men out there, okay? There's a new club in town. It's called the Good Old Girls Club. And this So several years ago, I reconnected with somebody who I dated in my 20s, and we had a date, and we were going to go out on a Wednesday night at 5:30 for drinks. We had a location, everything. He was supposed to call me to just confirm, that day, but everything was set.
Yeah.
And a girlfriend of mine happened to call me around 5:15, and by that time the guy hadn't called, so clearly he was standing me up, So my girlfriend called and she said, remember that guy, and I'm just gonna use a fake name, Tyrone Houdini, okay? She's like, remember,
It's always Tyrone.
remember that guy, Tyrone Houdini, who used to date? And I was like, yeah. Now, my girlfriend had no idea about this date that I had with him, which was within minutes. And she said, well, something kind of, he applied for a job here at my office, and one of the producers wanted me to get more information about him, or if there was somebody who could vouch for him. And then I looked at his resume and remembered that was somebody you dated. So, I'm calling you to see basically if you could vouch for him or something like that. And I said, well, it is uncanny that you are calling me right now, because if you had called me yesterday, if you had called me last week, I would have said he's great. In fact, I have a date with him and we're going out tonight at 5:30 for drinks at, this place on Sunset. And I said, but right now he's standing me up. At this moment, he was supposed to we were supposed to go out, and he's literally standing me up at this moment. And so my friend said, well, that's all I need to hear, because he's not getting that job. The producer is a woman, and I'm going to tell her, and there's no way in hell she's going to give that man the job. And that's what happened.
Wow.
He did not get that job. So be warned. There's a new Good Old Girls Club.
Yeah. You didn't even do anything wrong.
No.
You told the truth.
I did. I kind of felt bad for him because everybody needs a job. My girlfriend's like, not everybody needs a job. People who are dependent need a job, not people like that. So
Awesome. I love that story. It never gets old.
And no one's in line yet, so I'm going to ask one more question.
Yes.
Okay. Have you or have any of your girlfriends, in your opinion, sort of lost their mind and stopped listening to their gut because they had a wedding agenda going on?
absolutely. I mean, listen, I know people who preferred their wedding dress more than their husband. You know?
Yes.
But like, there are some really beautiful wedding dresses that are one of a kind, and you can't get them off the rack, and so I understand that.
Yeah.
You know?
Or the experience. How many people are coming? Is it destination?
Well, yeah.
Everyone gets caught up in
Yeah.
the fairy tale,
Right.
and really away from, is this
The
a
reality.
partner that I can live with for the rest of my life?
Right. Well, in my book, I have a whole chapter on fantasy versus reality.
Yeah.
And I think we do all get caught up in the fantasy, and we don't pay attention to the reality, which is, this guy's a loser.
Right.
You know, my agenda may be to get to the end of that aisle and to put a ring on it, but, you know, do I want him to put a ring on it?
Yeah.
Do I want to be actually linked to him for the rest of my life? So,
And you know what? That's a good place to segue to. We're having a lot of fun here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is really about women's empowerment.
Yes.
Women helping other women.
Yeah.
Women encouraging other girls club. All of that, and really keeping each other accountable to living our best life and living the fullest life. And when it comes to a partner, hey girlfriend, is that the partner for you? Or what are you doing really? Are you really happy? And doing that in a loving way. So at the end of the day, this is fun. The book title is fun.
yeah.
But
there's a real meaning.
Yeah.
There's a real message. And I honestly, I feel as if we as women are culpable, because our society, I mean, even though, you know, we've made strides in all sorts of areas, the bottom line is, you know, people still want to be in a relationship, and we're built for relationships. But I think we need to be careful, because so many of us want to have a title like girlfriend or Mrs. or whatever, even if you don't, you know, or somebody's wife, even if you don't take their name. And we're
socialized to want a label.
Yeah, we're socialized to want to be a part of a couple, which I think we actually want that innately, but I feel as if we lower our expectations, we settle for mediocre love, we make excuses. I mean, can I say bullshit?
Yeah.
Because I just said it.
Oh, we're live, honey. This is not TV. We are live streaming.
Because boys will be
Yes.
boys is bullshit.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
It is. Nobody ever says girls will be girls. And I think as soon as we say that, we set up a bunch of excuses that we make for men, and that allow them to be boys, that allow them to have bad behavior, and we perpetuate this bad behavior, and we lower our standards, and then we get people who we have to kick off of the couch.
Yeah. You're saying a lot. You're really preaching right now.
Amen.
Amen and amen. There's a lot there. Girls will be
let's
girls.
unpack
Boys
it, yeah.
are allowed to be boys, but girls are not allowed to be girls. And what does that mean exactly?
We're held to a higher standard. Boys can misbehave. They can do what they want. And people say boys will be boys. I mean, I've heard women excuse a man cheating and say, well, boys will be boys. What are you going to do?
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, if you are going to settle for that, you are not setting any kind of standard. So even if you break up with that person, the next woman who they go to, they're not going to have any kind of standard.
Right.
And you know, I don't want that for myself, or if I had a daughter, or even my friends. I mean, I want you to want to be in a relationship that is worthy of you. And I think when we don't value ourselves, no one else is going to, but we're going to perpetuate this.
And girls must encourage other girls. We must encourage each other to want relationships that value us. Meaning, no cheating husbands, no cheating boyfriends, no
Right. Well, and
those that really aren't adding value to your life.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
and I mean, some other things that are happening now with women being breadwinners is that there are a lot of women out there who are supporting
Yes.
men.
Yes. Millennials specifically is a big group in this day and time.
Yeah.
I've heard the term recently where they retire their husbands.
Yeah,
Meaning,
well, that's some bullshit right there.
meaning that, you know, they're making enough dough and the husband is like, I'll help you in your business, or I'll help you in your career.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of mess that is. I don't know. Okay, but let me just tell you something here. So I also just read this article that women who are either out earning or the breadwinners, their mates or boyfriends or, you know, partners or whatever, have their mates cheat on them. They have a higher level of infidelity. because these guys who are being supported actually don't feel, there's a problem. Like, I mean, gender roles have changed, but they haven't. And so if you're supporting a man and he is more likely to cheat on you, what do you, like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's problematic. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. Read your book.
Absolutely.
Read your book. We need tips. All right. Looks like we have more audience questions. I love this. Audience members, state your name and then your question for Sonja. You're live on the air. Say hi to Periscope, Meerkat.
Hi,
all around the world.
Hi, world. Hi, Sonja. My name is Vanessa.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Sonja. I love your book.
Thank you.
I love you. I think you're the greatest.
Oh, ooey gooey.
This is weird.
I just think she's a diamond. A
Yes.
diamond of a person. So my question is, obviously I know the title of your book, and I was just wondering if you ever have actually had to kick somebody off of your couch, like they just got too comfortable and you were just like, get out of here, if you can like tell a story about that or something.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I have a couple of stories. But one story is really interesting. So this happened when I was in college, and he wasn't even my man. But my roommate's boyfriend had graduated from college, and he had played for a big football team in college. I won't say what school. It wasn't USC. And he didn't get drafted, which, that's awful. What are you going to do? But he decided what he was going to do was basically live on our couch, but he wasn't paying rent. And so it was very peculiar, and I would come home from class every day, but he didn't, he was like on the couch watching the cable that I was paying for, eating the food that I was paying for, and just there all the time.
Right.
And, so we had to have this, the other roommate and I had to have a conversation with the roommate about her boyfriend. She's like, oh, you need to understand he's depressed, whatever. I'm like, okay, that falls under not my problem because he's on my couch and he's eating my food and he's watching my cable.
Yep.
And, I mean, Godspeed. Like, you're depressed, get help, get a job, get a life. Not on my couch. So there have been others that I've had to give couch evictions to. Serve them with a
New
notice.
term, couch eviction.
Yeah. So your ass needs to be removed.
Right.
So, and then I've heard of stories where there have been women who, are on the couch. And so, yeah, it's real, and that was the impetus for the title.
And in your book, then, how do you encourage women to handle a situation like that?
Well, here's the thing. I want us to handle it before it gets that bad.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of signs.
Yeah.
If you are dating a guy who has sloth-like behavior, I mean, if he's tends to be lazy, guess what? He's going to be a lazy-ass husband.
It's not going to change.
Probably, you can't change a man. You can't train him, or you can't change him.
That's another amen right there.
Yeah. So Caesar Milan, he's the dog whisperer. He can train dogs, but he can't train your husband or your boyfriend.
Right.
When you get a husband or boyfriend, they're as is. There are no lemon laws. Like, your lemon is not going to turn into a Lamborghini.
Right.
If anything, he's going to get fatter and lazier, especially if you make more money. So there are all these signs. If you start making excuses for your boyfriend, if you're out with your boyfriend and you start embellishing his resume for him,
Oh boy.
probably time to get out.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a lot of signs and clues before you get into the relationship.
Very awesome. Another question from audience member.
Hi, Sonja. My name's Noelle, and I absolutely adored the book.
Hi, Noelle.
Thank you. And I was just curious, there's so many men out there who are smart and educated and have so much potential, but they're not living up to it in the same way that women are. And I'm curious if you've ever been in a relationship like that with someone with tons of potential who isn't fulfilling it.
Yeah, amen to that. Okay, so here's the thing about potential. We all have potential.
Yeah.
We have the potential to be a serial killer, or we have the potential to be president of the United States, right?
Right.
So unless you are actually doing things to get towards that goal, and I'm not talking about talking about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of men who are dating, and women too, but a lot of men who are dating are not unlike politicians. Okay, they're on their campaign trail and they're trying
Smoke
to
screens.
yeah, like they're telling you all the things you want to hear, but essentially here's the thing, they're campaigning to get into your pants. And so they're going to tell you
It's
lot
a pants
of
campaign.
It is.
Get into the pants
Right,
campaign.
the vote, the pants, whatever. So they're going to tell you a lot of things that you want to hear. But what we as women, I think, need to do is we need to look for people who are doers. We need to see action. It
Right.
can't just be about talking a big game.
Right.
We need to
Like,
actually.
what have you done lately?
Right.
Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? Right. Awesome. Love that. I love the book. And again, we're having a very fun, light time. Again, the subject matter is keeping each other accountable when it comes to going all out, living your life to the fullest with a man of your dreams who compliments you.
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship right now? No. Oh.
No, I just
tell
got out
the
of-
audience about that and
Oh my
how,
God. Really? I don't know.
well, not in the vein of why you're not, but I find even, and you've known me for some time, I find that it's empowering actually to choose not to. I think a lot of people, a lot of women are, I got to get married, or I got to even have somebody free. A lot of women today really aren't even focused on marriage. They're focused on having a man, just to have a warm body with blump blump, and just to say I've got a man.
I mean, I have a chapter in my book called "Dick is not an endangered species." Because it's
I'm
not.
sorry, what was the name of that chapter
Dick
again?
is not an endangered species.
Yes.
It's not. There's one on every corner. It's like Starbucks. Okay. So we need to actually be very discerning. We want to have men of integrity who bring something to the table.
Right.
No. So I was in a relationship that was like 3.5 years. But that ended in the spring.
Yeah.
Right. So it ended in the spring, and he just got married.
No.
Yeah.
Update.
Yeah,
Really?
he just got married, and he's having a baby.
Oh,
That's
boy.
due like any day now.
No.
Yeah, so let's all do the math.
Yes.
And figure out that he cheated on me.
So many of those stories. So many of those.
Yeah.
Anyway, read the book.
Well,
Okay,
unfortunately,
just
learn
read
from
this.
my mistakes.
Learn from, girlfriends and all of this stuff. So another question from audience member, say your name, your question, say hi to the world, Meerkat.
Hi world, I'm Nancy again. Sonja, I love you.
I love you.
And I love the book, and I think it's brilliant. Now to the older women in the world, and there are some, that I could glean so much. In my circumstance, I've been married a very long time, and all of a sudden everything flipped. It felt like a midlife crisis. How long do you wait? Because honestly, spiritually, we're not to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not.
Right.
And then, but it's changed, and it's painful and it's hard. How would you suggest, how long?
I mean, my gosh, there's no easy answer to that. And I mean, I really think you have to, it's something that I know for myself, when I was going through the process of contemplating divorce, I had to know that I had done everything that I could
Divorce
possibly
is not
do.
easy.
Yeah, to be able to look my kid in the eye and say, look, I threw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it anymore. And I just think I think it's a very personal decision. And so I can't give a blanket answer to anybody, but that's something that you have to just go through on your own and pray about. And then, when I knew it was time to go, it was time to go. Like, I had no doubt.
Yeah. I would agree. And it's really an inside job. It's a spiritual issue.
Yeah.
It boils down to, as you said, have I done everything that I could do?
Yes.
Short of selling your soul. Nobody wants to. If you get to the point where you feel like, you got to give up some inside stuff of your own and sell your soul, then
it's probably time to
It's
go.
probably time to go.
But I will say this. I will say that emotional abuse is very real. And I think that we, I think that we, in general, don't give enough gravitas to emotional abuse because guess what? It is abuse.
Right.
I mean, you may not have a mark on your arm or your face from it, but if you are being demeaned and degraded and, spun around and emotionally abused, that's abuse.
It really
and
is.
you can't help that person. You have to help yourself.
Yep. It's interesting now that we're talking about this because Rihanna had an interview recently.
Yeah.
Right? And she talked about why she took Chris Brown back.
Yeah.
She felt as though she could change him.
Yeah.
Now, we all saw the pictures.
Right.
Black eye.
God.
Just everything. So physically, we could tell that she was abused, but who knows how much, before that, he had been calling her names or whatever, and then it turned into physical abuse.
Yeah.
I agree with you that men are very smart these days in the sense that they will demean a woman, maybe lock her up in her room. Who knows what's going on? But saying all that to say that if you're feeling as though you aren't living to your fullest potential with a mate, right, maybe it's time to do some soul checking for yourself. And really see if there's another way to live. So,
I also think that once, sometimes if you're in it, you can't see it.
Yes.
But once you're out of it, then you can say, oh, God,
right.
What was I doing in that? So it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
But we cannot be in the business of changing people or saving people.
Right.
There's only one person who saves. His name is Jesus Christ. So if that's not your name, then don't be in that business.
What? Oh boy, I can't even say that. Anyway, so another audience question, and then I want to ask Sonja some other stuff. Say your name. Say hi to the world.
Hi Sonja. Hi Theresa.
Hey.
Hi world. My name is Crystal, and
Crystal.
my question for Sonja: have you ever loaned or given a boyfriend money, and if so, did that change your relationship in any way?
So I sort of have this rule that you don't loan or give a man who is not a member of your family money who's over the age of 16. I don't, because if you're over the age of 16, you can get a job.
Yeah.
Maybe I can gift you something if you're going away to college and I give you a gift or whatever. But I just think it's a bad precedence to set. And I have a girlfriend who had loaned this guy money and ran into him at a party when he was out with this other woman. And so it's were they out on my dime? That's what she was thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she actually physically kicked him.
Where's my money?
Yeah. So it's just not a good idea. And I think it does change a relationship. Listen, there are exceptions to everything, but I wouldn't be quick to do that.
Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. So Sonja, mentioning rules and regulations for men or just how you structure a relationship, are there any other rules like that you have in a relationship that maybe you can talk to the audience about?
I have a bunch of rules and things in the book that I go through. One of the rules is if you want to ask me out on a first date, don't text me.
Oh Lord, yes.
Honestly, let's have some sort. I want to have some sort of real conversation and know that you're a human being, and I just think it's very impersonal, and we're about to go on a date, and we could probably be exchanging spit, which is very personal, and so I don't want I don't think it's right.
Right.
For a first date,
right?
If I know you, whatever, you're hey, let's meet here, it's fine. 6
months down the line, maybe.
Well, it's whatever, but just not a first date.
Yeah.
I don't want to have all these long conversations with you via text. Also, another thing. Okay, if you catch a man in an untruth, which is a lie,
Yes.
early on in whatever it is, dating, relationship, that's you don't need to actually continue any sort of relationship with that person, because guess what? He's a liar.
Yeah.
And he showed you that immediately.
When a person shows you who they are,
believe
them. Yes. Awesome. Another audience member question. Yay. State your name. Say hi to the world.
Hi, Sonja. My name is Nadra, And I have a question. I know that you're the mother of a son. So I was wondering, what are you doing to shape your son into a quality man?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. Good question. We're going deep.
Yeah. What am I doing to shape my son? You know, I think just we talk a lot, and we talk about our emotions, and we talk about you know, his feelings, and a lot of things I never really talked to my parents about. My kid he's like pretty an emotional person. He has a really good relationship with his dad. He has a really good relationship with my dad.
That's good.
And my son's very much an alpha male. I mean, I'm learning a lot from him about how guys are.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
age.
Is it? Okay. But I mean, hopefully, you know, I'm teaching him to be chivalrous and respectful and, you know, a good, kind-hearted human being, which translates into a good, kind-hearted man.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'm doing the best I can. I have no idea. Who knows?
You know what? And I think that's a misnomer when it comes to being a parent, right?
Yeah.
There is no good instruction book. There is no instruction book. You kind of
It's
have
just like
to go
with prayer and hope and do what, you know, you think is right.
And the basics.
Yeah.
Please and thank you and, and things like that. Never a lot of style.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't make his bed, but I don't either. We're really bad about that kind of thing. Can't believe I admitted that. Okay.
Very nice. All right. One more audience member question. Thank you so much, Nadja.
Hi, Sonja.
Hi, Jenny.
State your name. Say hi to the world.
Hi, I'm Jenny. Hi, world, and Theresa. I love your book.
Thank you.
And I don't know, I know you have a lot of stories in there about dating, but I was wondering if you would tell us the story of your worst date.
My worst.
Or maybe your worst top 3 if there are some.
Well, so I have this one date that is like just epic. Okay. So many years ago, I have a manager for writing, and he met this other writer, and so he thought that we would be a good match. I think mostly because we were both writers and we're both black. I think that was the criteria. And so I always felt as if right after I got divorced that I was like on the old Bachelorette, and all my friends were setting me up with like these, you know, guys who were from the half price bin at Ross. You know what I mean? And so it was like sometimes
I want to say no, but yes, I do.
Yeah, you know. And sometimes there was, you know, like some drunk girl at the end. Sometimes that was me. But like there was no Chris Harrison, there was no rose ceremony. It was just anyway. So I would decide so I talked to this guy, we were gonna go on a date. He called me up. He said, I have tickets to the Mission Impossible 3 premiere. I think it was 3, something like that. It was right when like Tom Cruise had married or had a baby with Katie Holmes.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, okay, fantastic. So that sort of like upped the ante on the date immediately, you know, because I made my hair appointment, like I figured out my outfit, and so it was all happening.
Right.
And it was weird because he didn't call me like that day. Like he told me he'd pick me up around sometime or whatever. It was like really early afternoon. This was a blind date too, and I was before I was on Facebook, so it was really blind. So he picked me up, and he was kind of strange, not very talkative, and his windshield was cracked, but he wouldn't talk about why it was cracked. And he was very like 007. I was like, so where are you from? And he was like, well, what do you mean? Well, like, I mean, are you from the continental United States is what I mean. And he's like, well, I'm from all around. And I said, oh, well, like, was your dad in the military or something? My dad? I don't even know who my dad is. My dad could be president of the United States for all I know. And at that time, the president was George Bush, and this guy was black. So I was like, I don't think that's... I'm going to say that's not your dad.
Right.
And I want to leave. I want to go home. I want somebody to help me. So anyway, we arrive at the Mission Impossible 3 premiere. And, like, there's this sea of people who are with the radio station or something, Power 106. And then there are all these other people who have, like, their tickets, and they're going to, you know, into the movie theater. Well, He didn't have a ticket, so he said, well, my friend is here, and he saved us seats, And it was like 4 o'clock or something, and then we found out the movie didn't start until 7, but we were there at 4. And so he calls his friend up on his cell phone, and his friend, and so then all of a sudden I see him waving to some guy who's in the sea of Power 106 people. And he hangs up and he's like, oh, see that guy over there? And I waved and he waved. He's like, well, that's my friend. He said, well, he didn't really save us seats because he's with the Power 106 people. So we don't really have seats, but we can go wait in line. That's like around the corner. We were in Hollywood. I think the line ended in Beverly Hills. And so I was like, wait a second. You want me to wait in line for 3 hours with like a bunch of people and wear a Power 106 t-shirt? I don't even know what Power 106 is. You need to take me home right now. I'm a grown-up. Amen. So he left, and then he didn't even want to pay for parking, which was $2. That's one of the worst days.
Wisdom, I'm going to say.
That is officially the worst date.
Yeah, I call it Power 106. Because I don't even remember his name.
It's just Power 106.
It's just Power 106.
Or Mission Impossible.
Well, it was. It was. That's a really great name for it, Teresa.
Mission
Fantastic.
Impossible. All right.
I'll do a reprint of the book immediately.
The international version.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was fantastic. Audience, what do you think about Sonja? Give us a shout out there. Woo! Fantastic. So now we're going to get into just a time check from Victor.
You got about 10, 12 minutes.
Awesome. That's all we need.
Yeah.
You know, us girls move fast. So I want to hit on a few contemporary hot topics.
Yes.
This segment is going to be called Ask Sonja Anything.
Okay.
And she's going to give us the real.
Just don't ask me how much I weigh. Or what my real hair color is.
Right, exactly. So recently, we all know Viola Davis won the Emmy. She gave the great speech, right?
Yes.
She said
Amazing.
you cannot win an Emmy for roles that are simply not there.
Right.
Not everybody in Hollywood was particularly happy with her speech. Particularly, who is it, Nancy
from something Ron from General Hospital.
You're in TV, you're a writer. What do you feel about that? Can you give us your unfiltered response?
Don't mess with Black Twitter, okay? Rule number 1. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why she felt the need to comment on that, because I don't know, maybe she feels marginalized somehow, but she's not a black actor. She's not a black woman, and so she can't speak to that. I mean, she just can't. And the fact that she doesn't sort of have the respect or even the empathy to let what Viola said so eloquently stand on its own, I feel like it's disrespectful, honestly. And she doesn't get it.
Right.
So, you know what? My mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, shut your mouth.
And that will be that. Next hot topic, a little cat fight we had during the summer.
Me and you?
Well, maybe. Not yet. Only if there's mud involved, right? So Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus.
Right. Well, you don't mess with Nicki Minaj. I don't know what the problem is, because she looks petite, but I would not ever. I'm always on Nicki's side.
So their beef actually centered around Nicki feeling as though Miley was perpetuating the black culture, but not really understanding or feeling what black women are going through. How do you feel about that? Is there some, when it comes to your book and talking about black women?
My book's for all women.
Well, it's for all women, right? But a lot of people may think
it's just for
about
black women.
Right. So
even though it says it's not just about black women. No, I get it. No, I totally get it. Yeah.
So how then do you feel about that in that context, when it comes to, do you really have to understand someone's culture? Do you really have to walk in their shoes in order to really appreciate what they're going through?
Listen, I think that Well, that's two different questions. Because I feel as if, are you talking about Miley appropriating like sort of hip hop culture?
Yes, she had blonde dreads on.
Hello, every white kid in the suburb.
Her voice has gotten deeper recently.
Have you ever gone to like a Jay-Z concert?
Yeah.
It's like if there weren't white kids in the suburbs, he wouldn't have a career.
If you were out in Woodland Hills, there's nothing but Jay-Z.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if what Miley's doing is any different than what a lot of people are doing or have done over, the years. And I'm saying like back, when black music was first coming about and it was being appropriated
from jazz,
let's say stolen,
right?
By mainstream culture. So I don't know what's in Miley Cyrus's head.
Right.
Does anybody?
No.
I'm not going to try and get in there. Let's say that. That's how I'm going to leave that one.
Awesome. Great. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
So lovely. Thank you so much for having me on your first show. This means a lot.
And regarding the book, again, Big Fat Negro, get your lazy ass off my couch. And it's not just about black men, okay?
And an Amazon drone can bring it to you, like within, honestly, if you had ordered it at the beginning of the show, I bet it would be here right now.
It is available on Amazon, Amazon.com. There's a Kindle version. There's also hardcover, softback. You can buy this as well.
Or you can go to my website and the link will take you there.
I'm going to let Sonja tell you about how to find her.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm here right now. No, so you can reach me on Twitter at Sonja War, Instagram, I think it's at Sonja War, and I have a Facebook fan page, and that's about it. I'm not going to give out my phone number.
Blast it.
323.
So the Twitter again is SONJAWAR. That's also the Instagram, SONJAWAR. And you can find me again at Boss Chick Theresa. Please check out Pack Stereo TV Live. Woo! Please. Mario on the ones and twos, as we used to say way back when. No, I'm not going to tell you how long ago. And then Vic as well, keeping us ladies looking all fantastic and debonair and all things beautiful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We've had a fantastic time here tonight. Again, check us out. My company is B Next Entertainment. You can find me at www.bnextentertainment.com. And we will do this again. If there are any topics you want to have us talk about, if there's anyone in entertainment you would like to see, please shoot us an email, shoot me, you can comment down below as well. We did not check questions on Meerkat. We did not check questions on live stream. That's okay. Go ahead and add your questions and I'll definitely get back to you and respond with those. If you have questions for Sonja, again, go ahead, make sure you enter those and we'll make sure that she gets back to you personally. And with that said, we're going to wrap up. I appreciate Pack Stereo TV. Thank you, world. And let us know how you like this. We love you. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. So we're not really off, right?
No.
All right, you've been watching Pack Stereo TV. That was Hollywood Live with Theresa Campbell. Special guest today, Sonja Warfield. That's Sonja for J. Hope you appreciated it live on all the streaming platforms, live stream, Ustream, internet radio. Hope you appreciated those topics. Go on and contact them live online. You heard Theresa. She wants to hear from you. And Sonja too. I'm Mario Hemsley. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the show. We'll be returning to the Piggy Schedule broadcast.
You make me wanna fly, in and out of this traffic jam. Dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Pour it on, boy. Take me to the night. no stopping. So what's the use in trying? Destination, baby, all I know is that you and me were meant to be. Never let me go. This traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's clear it's going through my head. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I never thought that love makes you crazy. I never thought that love makes you high. I only hope that love is forever. I only hope that love never dies. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Never let me go. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's clear it's going through my head. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love.
That's how you sound, the body heat. Thank y'all. Tune in, they get ready to do the after photo shoot. That's the way they do it. Peace.
I like the way that you make me feel.
See y'all.